The line graph represents the total fish population P in a small lake after X years. One winter, the lake almost froze solid. Part A, estimate the slope of each line segment. B, interpret each slope as a rate of change. C, describe what happened to the fish population. So on the board, we've recreated the graph, and now for part A, we were to determine the slopes of each segment. So for this line segment, it's an increase of 2 in a time period of 1, so the slope of what we'll call segment 1 is equal to 2. The slope of segment 2 is this line here. Now that decreases from 10 to 1. So that's a decrease of 9, and that's in a span of 1 year. So that's a slope of -9. The segment 3 is this small segment here, and that increases from 1 up to 3. So that's an increase of 2 in 1 year. So the slope is 2. And finally, this segment here we'll refer to as M4. The increase is from 3 up to 8, so it's an increase of 5 in that 1 year period. Now, part B was to interpret the meaning of those slopes. So for part B, I'm going to point out that this slope refers back to the population of fish, which is in thousands, compared to the time, which is in years. So really what that's saying is, in that first time period from 0 to 1, there was an increase of 2,000 fish per year. What about the second time period, the slope M2? Well, that means that there was a decrease of 9,000 fish per year. For the third segment, it's an increase of 2,000 fish per year. And for the fourth segment, it's an increase of 5,000 fish per year. Now, part C, asked us to discuss or describe what happens to the fish population. So, what happens is it starts off initially at 8,000 fish. And in 1 year, it actually climbs up to, and I'm going to start to write down here, 10,000 fish. But then there's a dramatic drop from 10,000 to 1,000. And I would assume that this is the year in which the lake almost froze solid, and that's what created such a dramatic drop in the number of fish that were able to survive. Now, it then increased again in that next year, which at a rate of 2,000, so we ended up with 3,000, and then it increased at a rate of 5,000 per year, added on to the 3,000, brings us back to the same population that it was at the beginning of 8,000 fish.